Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of 3 p.m. That's a third-party minifig. And in this episode, we're going to be dealing with Brickmania's December and January minifigure of the month, Battle of the Bulge, US and German Riflemen. Now, if you are not a history buff and you don't know anything about military history, especially World War II, you probably don't know what the Battle of the Bulge was. If you've probably seen Band of Brothers, it's probably episode 5 and 6 or CD 4, 3, I don't remember. I'm gonna dumb it down and pretty much say that it was Hitler's counteroffensive against the Allied invasion, and it pretty much stopped the Allied advance. So I kind of propped these figs up against the Tiger and the Fury tank, just to kind of give you a little bit more history lesson on the Battle of the Bulge. On December 16th, 1944 through the 25th of January in 1945, it was launched through the densely forest of the Ardennes region of Wallonia in eastern Belgium, northeast of France in Luxembourg. It was towards the end of the war in Europe, and the offensive was intended to stop the Allies' use of the Belgian port of Antwerp. It technically split the Allied lines, allowing the Germans to encircle and destroy 4 Allied armies, and forced the Western Allies to negotiate a peace treaty in the Axis' favor. Now, that obviously didn't happen. The Germans definitely achieved total surprise attack on the morning of December 16th. Combination of Allied overconfidence, preoccupation with Allied offensive plans, and poor aerial reconnaissance due to bad weather. The American forces bore the brunt of the attack. On December 26th, the lead element of Patton's U.S. 3rd Army reached Bastogne, which is where this tank gets its fame from. The first name Bastogne. Yeah, I was going to play out the tank. Long story short, this was the Germans' last push, and it exhausted a lot of their resources, which is pretty much the downfall at this point for the German military. So I'm going to take both of these out of their packaging. Let's start with the German. Kind of save all of these. I mean, Brickmania does a good job of kind of keeping them in a package. I can take them out and put them back in. Here are both the German and US Riflemen during the Battle of the Bulge. You can kind of see that they both have snow on them. I would say the Germans are more prepared for the snow than the Americans were. The American right here on the right can represent pretty much anyone that was fighting on that side of the line. This coat right here was pretty much not meant to be worn this way. It was definitely something pulled out of necessity more so than what it was intended, because this is kind of a more formal coat, but it actually kind of made him look a little dashing though, I would say. You got to do what you got to do, especially with those boots. On this minifigure specifically is Lando's color tinting. What he does to kind of simulate the real color around this minifigure by kind of just playing with the ink that's put on, kind of gets it this more realistic color scheme than, you know, way better than what Lego can do. On the US guy right here, you can kind of see he has his magazine pouches, he has like another clip right there ready to put on. There's a canteen back there. It looks like a drop pouch. Love the snow on his boots. Kind of see double straps right there, one for the chin strap and one to kind of hold the white cloth that he decided to put over his helmet, give somewhat of a winter camouflage that could have been ripped off from whatever white they can get their hands on. Definitely like this 360 printing. Let's put him up like if he's surrounding again, so you kind of get a full view of all the detail that's put around this minifigure by himself. But yeah, remember, the Americans were not prepared for what was coming at them. Literally, the might of the German military was thrown at them. They did just fail in Operation Market Garden, but that was a different story. At this point in time, they just got hit really hard by German armor. Definitely test their will. On the German side, he's all decked out, ready for winter, has the head wrap underneath. It's like they kind of painted their helmets white. Kind of see it's kind of worn and kind of scraping back off onto the gray that it normally was. Cigarettes taken from Americans. The canteen. Now he surrenders, so we can kind of see everything else on this guy. More ammo pouches. I mean, the wrinkle all the way down the seam on his arms. I know they had like 4 different variants of this torso, at least to my own understanding, but I got this one. I didn't want to get more. One's enough for me. I'm gonna give them both perfect caliber weapons. So the German gets the Car 98 while the US Rifleman gets the BAR. Really cool. They look really good. Brickmania. Lando did a stellar job on creating both of these guys right here. They look amazing. Attention to detail, like look at the German wrinkle in his coat and his trousers. Oh, there's a grenade on his side on the heel of his boot. Really not much to say about them aside from that both sides of this went through hell and back during this battle. And if you made it this far, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, like, comment, subscribe below, and I'll see you on the next 3 p.m. video. Alright guys, peace.